What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day, Season 1 officially dropped for Skate. And we got a decent amount of content put into the game. But the community, let me tell you guys something, the community is not happy whatsoever when it comes down to everything. And honestly, for the first time, I kind of agree. Personally, I enjoy the game. I really enjoy the gameplay. There's a lot of aspects that I like, and I also see the true potential of the future of this game. But seriously, I think a lot of people have valid criticism for the overall game, and we're going to go ahead and discuss all the details in today's video. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before going dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Post twice here, once at 8 a.m. and a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And also, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys want to catch any of the streams, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so I do want to say, I do apologize for the gameplay. Nothing crazy or fancy in today's footage. And I'm not going to be hitting any, major lines. I'm just going to be kind of showcasing all of the additions to the map that the team over at Skate went ahead and, put on into the game. And first and foremost, I do want to, talk about some of the positives within this update here before I actually dive deep into the negatives and, what everybody is worried about and frustrated about. First and foremost, the additions to the map are actually really cool. There's some spots that are mediocre that I honestly would prefer not to skate ever again. But a lot of the, introductions are pretty cool. They're fun to go ahead and mess around with. And, for the time being, as, an event, I think this can definitely hold people over for a little bit. I will say I did kind of get bored, and I eventually started to, branch off and go to the rest of the city and start skating different spots because, I can't just sit there and skate the same thing for 2 to 3 hours straight. But for people who are a little busy, maybe only have a half an hour to an hour worth of time to go ahead and hop on into the experience, I think it's good. I think it's a good amount of additions to keep you interested and coming back and, wanting to skate it more and more and try out different tricks, try to find different locations, different things that you could do. I think that it's not too shabby. And the looks of it aren't bad at all either. And don't forget, guys, they actually went ahead and changed the atmosphere of the overall game. I actually have a comparison photo that I saw from Dies over on Twitter, as you can see right here. Working on a new video comparing the map and graphics from 0.27.7 to Season 1 in Skate. But he has one image right here that you could see. And it looks drastically better, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are, saying it doesn't look that great. But for me, I love the way Season 1 looks 1,000% more than I did, with 0.27. Much better. So that's another, addition that I think is phenomenal within Season 1 for Skate. And I do want to say that with what they introduced, it does make me pretty excited for the future of how else they're going to edit up this map with other events, I think it's a really cool concept to go into the map, add in events, add in different locations, add different ways of skating about. Of course, it's not a completely brand new section of the map, which is obviously coming in the future. And it's going to be coming a lot. It's not just going to be coming one time, but they're going to constantly, expand upon this map over the course of months, I'm assuming years. But when it comes to what we have right here, right now, I do think it's fun to shake it up a bit, Something that you skate on a day-to-day basis when you hop in, you actually see there's different things going on around you. And, it's a bunch of people, real players going about skating on all this new stuff. It's really fun. It is. And it makes me excited to see what else they have in store. But that's not going to stop EA from being EA in regards to Skate. And I got to be real with you guys. They're really putting a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, Again, there's people like me who don't really care about any of the other extras, and I, just enjoy skating around, but I can't deny the facts that this game is indeed starting to become a little behind when it comes to a lot of the missing content. And also with how they're handling their microtransactions, it's just getting a little ridiculous. Again, I understand that Skate is a free-to-play game now, but it wasn't before, and that's the biggest difference. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of free-to-play games that charge a pretty penny for a lot of their cosmetics, but Skate was never that, and a lot of these free-to-play games are, brand new games. It's hard for an established franchise to go free-to-play because the community doesn't typically accept it, and this is going to be one of those cases, Skate 1, 2, 3 were all paid products, complete games, all the content's there, tons of it is basically for free. And then you transfer it over to a free-to-play model, and everything that everyone knows Skate for just kind of vanishes once they go ahead and do this. But again, a lot of the community is kind of salty that we have no new tricks, we don't have any, major brands coming on into the game just yet. And when they do introduce a lot of, cool merchandise, it's all paid for. You can barely get anything really for free within this game, which, again, I understand is free-to-play, right? They have to make their money somewhere. But boy, oh boy, it does hurt being a major Skate fan and knowing that all the previous games, all I had to do was just pay $60 to get into the game, and then everything else was earnable. And I could just go ahead and grind it out, play with what I want to play with, do my own thing. Honestly, I would have much rather preferred them to make this game a paid product over free to play. I'm just saying. I would much rather have paid 60 to 70 bucks for this if they could have actually made it a more finished product. I understand that it's in early access, and that's what still gives me hope personally, but I think a lot of people out there are just kind of rubbed in the wrong direction, as I literally just stated, People are used to paying, the full price tag for all of these skate games, and it comes with everything. All the tricks, all the cosmetics being free and grindable, so on and so forth. You don't have to, wait and hope that the development team is actually going to put in content that you've been, expecting. I mean, first and foremost, guys, this was a free cosmetic in Skate 3. I just want everybody to understand this. This is, I think his name is Isaac from Dead Space, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. And, you could say it looks ugly or it looks good. Who cares? At the end of the day, this was absolutely free in Skate 3. Yes, you heard that correctly. In Skate 3, you could get this for free. You didn't have to pay a penny. Now, within Skate 4, the new Skate, whatever you want to call it, it's $40, ladies and gentlemen. It's $40. Again, if this was a new IP and it started out being free to play, I don't think anybody would really have an issue. It's like, oh, it's free to play, it's 40 beans, they got to make cash, so be it. But with this literally being in the previous introduction of Skate 3, and now they're charging 40 bucks for the same exact skin, again, as I stated, that is putting a bad taste in people's mouths. I don't know about you guys, but I seriously think the free-to-play route was just not smart for Skate, especially since they're already an established franchise that you have to pay for all the other ones, and now they're taking the content from previous games and now charging you in the current introduction because they wanted to make it free. They didn't even ask anybody. They didn't say, oh, do you guys want a free-to-play Skate game? Would you guys prefer this? No, they just said, you know what? We're going to make Skate free and do exactly what we want to do, and everybody's going to have to go ahead and accept it. Typical EA move, but yeah, this is a thing within the game now. And the same thing when it comes down to the overall cosmetics within the Battle Pass, guys. My goodness, first and foremost, the Battle Pass, as I already stated, you can't go ahead and recycle it. You're only going to be able to get 400 points out of 1,000 points that is needed to get the Battle Pass. So 1,000 points is 10 bucks. You'll get 4 bucks out of the pass after completing, and you can't go ahead and recycle it, meaning that you have to pay 6 bucks every single time a new pass comes out. Again, that's not that much money. So I don't want to go ahead and over-exaggerate about this and say, oh, $6 every single, couple of months. That's horrible. Bad EA. That's not really bad. But it's the morals of the overall situation here, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much every other studio out there allows you to recycle your battle passes. And not just paid games, free-to-play games as well. If you purchase a battle pass and you grind the battle pass, you are rewarded with a set amount of points that will allow you to either A, buy a skin in the store, or B, get the next battle pass for free. It's just as simple as that. And leave it to EA, again, forcing the Skate franchise into a free-to-play model. Not only that, but they're also going to make sure they are the scummiest of scummy free-to-play models. They can't just go free and just leave it at that. No, they have to make sure that they have to be the worst free-to-play, not worst free-to-play game, but, worst handled free-to-play game when it comes to microtransactions that I think I've seen in a very long freaking time, especially when it comes down to what we had in the past. It's just kind of a joke. And it doesn't end there, guys. I mean, look at this. Please just look at this crap that's within the Battle Pass. Now, I'm not saying all the Battle Pass content is bad, because it's not. A lot of the Battle Pass content actually is semi-decent. But guys, what the heck am I looking at? What is my character doing? I actually saw a comment on Reddit from someone saying that if you're doing this, you're not even playing Skate. You're literally not even playing the purpose of the game that you are trying to enjoy. The EA is trying to Fortniteify the overall Skate environment. That is what they're doing. I don't think I've ever seen someone sitting on the side of the curb doing this. I'm just saying, I don't think I've ever seen it, because guess what? That's not the point of the game. The whole point of the game is skating. The most I ever see people do is running around pointing at each other, slam their decks on the ground, or doing the fent lean. That's all I really see. That's it, man. Or like the hello symbol. That's it. That's it. If you're not doing that, then you're skating. And if you are doing any of these other moves, I feel like you're just not even bother skating. I think you might be able to do them on your board. So some people do it, to spice up a clip to make it look a little corny and stuff like that. But guys, I don't know, man. And I also got to say, like, this might be a little offensive, especially to the lady crowd out there when it comes to, females who enjoy Skate. But a lot of the stuff in this game are heavily feminized. Like, It's actually kind of insane if you ask me, because over half of the skaters that I've been skating for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. I've gone to a lot of skate parks. I don't think I've ever seen that many females at a skate park. And when you do, they're not doing that crap that I was showcasing to you. They were not doing any of that garbage. This is not the skate culture. And it's so funny because when you load into skate, like, how fond are you of the skate culture? I mean, they should be asking themselves that question. They should be the ones being questioned about all this information, not us. They should. Because what the heck is being put into this game, guys? EA's making it really hard, man. I really want to support this because I love skate so unbelievably much. It's one of my favorite franchises out there. It's so much fun. And even this game, as I stated, I don't need cosmetics. I don't. I genuinely don't. I don't need to buy anything. The whole purpose of the game is to skate, not look cool. So it doesn't faze me at all. But you can't deny that EA has some really scummy practices going on right now when it comes to trying to finesse people out of their cash, finesse them for things that they had for free in previous games, and also introducing a bunch of stuff that I can't avoid. All these weird, cringy Fortnite dances. I can't avoid that. Yeah, I can opt into not buying it. I don't need it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be seeing people doing this weird stuff around the city. Like, bro, oh, man. I miss the days of riding around and having security guards on skate, pushing me around and pushing me off my board and trying to run me out of certain areas. And now we have people doing Fortnite dances. I mean, it's really hard. Like I said, I'm still going to play it. I'm still going to, see what happens in the future. Because I enjoy skating. It just is what it is. I like the gameplay. I think the gameplay is good. I think just everything about the actual fundamentals of the game is pretty solid. I dare to say, I know a lot of people are going to, say this is bad opinion, but I think that it feels, I know I'm going to get crapped on. I think it feels better than, the previous skate games when it comes to the flow of the overall game and how to do tricks. It's pretty smooth in my opinion, but everything else is just so cringeworthy. And also, another thing that I've seen people talk about in the chat, and this is a really bad one, is the fact that you could edit your clothing back in the older skate games. So if you wanted to, turn a long shirt into a shorter shirt, you could do so. If you wanted to turn a short shirt into a long shirt, you could do so. If you wanted to wear your hat forwards, you could do so. If you want to wear it backwards, sideways, you could do so. There was all different types of styles when it came to your clothing. You could edit it however you want. In this game, you can't. You want a forwards hat? You better buy that in the store. Oh, you want to make that forwards hat the same thing but backwards? You better buy that in the store. Oh, you want a crop top? Well, you better buy that in the store. Oh, you want that same exact shirt to be baggier? Oh, well, you better buy that in the store. Everything is so heavily monetized. And I get it. I said it before. It's just clothing. But you could just tell how scummy it is. If you have to pay for 2 separate hats just to turn it backwards, I mean, at that point, man, you know for a fact that they are trying to milk every last player in this game. And it's sad because the player count of this game is actually pretty solid. It's bringing in a decent amount of players. And I'm starting to feel like that is why they're milking it. I'm assuming they didn't even expect this many players to come on in and play. Like, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, look at this. These are the Steam charts. This isn't even for console. This is for freaking PC players. And they're still averaging over 50K players a day on Skate. Like, again, to me, this is beautiful. I'm so happy to see Skate get this type of love from the community. It makes me so freaking happy. But at the same time, I could see EA looking at this and saying, we got to milk it while it's here. Because this isn't going to last. I'm telling you right now, this is my personal opinion as well. This is not going to last. It is indeed going to fade away. It's not going to completely die. But the player count that it is holding right now probably won't be holding, a year down the road. It'll probably be a little bit less. And they probably want to milk it. They see the potential. They see the amount of people who are still playing. So why not try to scheme as many players out of their money as possible? But I don't know, guys. I want to hear your opinions about Season 1 down in the comment section below. As I stated before, I think we got some cool additions. The new atmosphere, coloring, the additions to the map. I really think that they're pointing in the right direction when it comes to events. And I'm not blaming the team over at Skate whatsoever. I want everybody to understand this. This is not the team at Skate. I think they're doing a good job here. This is EA. EA are the ones who are managing a free-to-play project. What to put in the store, what vibes they want the game to be like. And I think it's clear as day that they are trying to, again, Fortniteify Skate as much as possible. And I just, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. But the gameplay is still there. You know, it's still a fun game, so I guess we'll see what the future looks like. But I'll still love to hear what your opinions are down in the comment section below. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. It posts twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys are interested, I got a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.